edition of the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport here on a Wednesday. The Barnes, Tony, and Danny show once again. What a time in the world of sports. What's going on, Tony? All positive, all up. What was the phrase we were using? Onward
and
yes,
upward,
yes,
dude.
yes.
Trying to maintain that attitude here. Obviously, a tough loss for me and the Mets as well last
And then we
night,
could say
dude.
that 4 times in a row, 5
row.
times in a row for the Yankees. Oh, yeah. 9 total losses in a row for both teams.
Kind of crazy how that number keeps popping up now.
Yes.
But yeah, dude, obviously, you're trying to get through it. It is, like you said, onward and upward, though. You got to maintain course here. Things will get better. Don't even worry.
Yes, like I'm not worried, but it's just, it honestly, for sports, I mean, you almost can't have a shittier feeling. Honestly.
Right.
You really can't. Because in the midst of it, even though you know it's not the case, it feels like you're never going to win again.
No,
Right?
you're totally right, dude.
And like just waiting and waiting. And it just feel like, that's, especially in me, I mean, that's definitely not my specialty.
No,
the patience.
definitely impatient, dude.
Terrible. And, it's like Michael Butker waiting for Ernie to text him back. I mean, there's just no patience there.
There is no patience, dude.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. But like we're saying, I mean, we're going to get nothing. We're going to get through it. But it doesn't make it any better for you. But I mean, you have to admit, I mean, the 3 shots in a row, like, it's like, are you kidding?
Yeah, I guess like you said, first time in 9 years.
Yeah,
that's something like that has happened. Which, like I said before the show too, even I was surprised that happened 9 years ago, or I thought it'd be longer.
Right.
But yeah, dude. I mean, like you said, it is. Obviously, losing is losing at the end of the day. I mean, I can sit here and argue maybe the Mets loss was a little bit worse. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But when you are getting shut out, it is definitely more frustrating when you're losing in that fashion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, it's just, and you know how me and Matt are, like I said, we were talking about before, but
right.
It's just, it really is. It is tough. It's just like, you don't know how to not feel like negative,
But I mean, like you're sitting here this morning. I mean, like you said, though, isn't it like kind of like an onward and upward feel? Like it is not like you're not going to get shut out again. Right.
No, I mean, you shouldn't. It's just, I have a tough time, because like I said, it's different with the Mets, but it's like how you could explain to me what the justification is for getting shut out 3 games in a row and scoring 5 runs in 6 games.
Yeah.
But then, so it's like, who does that fall on? And is like, you know what I mean? Even though you're going to turn it around, but the fact that you let that happen, I mean, what does that say about you?
I mean, if you're going to ask me who I think it falls on, I mean, I think, not hitting well falls on the players. I mean, it's not like Boone is out there like yanking at the bats while they're swinging. I mean, and it's not like we haven't seen these players hit before, So, I mean, it is a rut that they're in. I guess maybe if you want to, I mean, I guess you can blame Boone for certain things, certain ways he's playing the lineup card. You can maybe blame the hitting coach for not, helping the players get out of this funk. But at the end of the day, it comes on to the players, no?
Yeah, no, I that's what I say all the time. It always falls on the players. But then it's like, so then it just makes me question, even though we've had such a great year and, leader in all these statistical categories, is it like, are there a lot of guys that we have that aren't the right players, And I want to continue talking about this, but I see we have 2 comments here. If we want to get to those,
Yeah, of course. Do we have Josh B in the house normally here on this Tuesday with a new profile picture? Actually, a little new TCA logo.
There he is.
Looks pretty sweet. We have a little Joker thing going on, dude.
Did the Joker like kidnap the Yankees bats? Is that what happens?
He says, "Yo, what's good, fam? Not much, Josh. Glad that you're in here." And we also have Jordan Levinson.
Shout out. He's back from San Diego visiting, and I'm
Okay.
actually going to see him later.
No
So,
kidding,
pumped
dude.
up for that.
There we go, dude. He wants to know, can we get your thoughts on Volpe? Do we think he is currently what you would call a bust?
As we used to say, Jordan, back in the blackjack days, 17 bust, like drawing the next card. It really feels like that way, because I know, you had the numbers with the statistics, with the RBIs in the American League, and how he was near the top. But we've been talking about this this week, and it's just like, how many times do we need to see Anthony Volpe come up in a big spot? And what is it? Is it not a repetitive pattern that he's swinging through the fastball, he's missing the fastball, and then, oh yeah, he actually puts it in play, and it's a dribbler down the line? I just find myself, for a guy who's, you would think he's 39 years old instead of 23? Like, when does he square up pitches, though? You know what I mean? It's like, it seems like as the years have gone on, that's almost gotten worse. I feel like his rookie year, at least he was hitting some home runs. I just feel like he very rarely squares up, and he doesn't know how to take a pitch and go with it and just slap a single down the line, slap a double down the line. He doesn't know how to do that. And it's like, year 3, I don't know. You tell me, Tony. Is it possible that he's really going to put it together and surprise us, or is he just going to continue to be a mediocre player?
I suppose it is possible, but I think he has to change one big thing, kind of to what you're saying. Like, he doesn't know how to hit. He doesn't know how to put the ball on the ground in a position where it's a single, hit it through a gap or something, dude. I think, and again, you watch more at-bats than I do, but from what I see, I feel like a lot of times, dude, he is trying to swing for the fences. It's like you don't have to do that every time.
Right.
I don't know why he's in that mentality where he thinks he needs to get a home run, or at least from what I see anyway. And because of that's when you're getting those choppers, as Brian would say, like a chef, dude.
No, literally.
Literally, right to third base, right to short, like right back to the pitcher, whatever it is. I think he's got to rethink his approach in the batter's box. And I don't think, I don't know, you tell me. I don't think he's seeing pitches wrong. It's just that he's just swinging so hard and high.
But don't you see it too? Like when you're watching the highlights, he's late on the fastball all the time. Like an at bat starts, I would say at least half the time an at bat starts, foul off fastball, foul off fastball, and then swing the shit down low and hit a dribbler or strike out. So it's like, you can't miss fastballs and be a good player.
Yeah, no, you're right, dude. Do you think it's something as much as timing then at that point?
Yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is if he was on your team, what would be your thoughts? Would you be like, okay, we're gonna see it through this year, but if this is the same at the end of the year, he's not here for long.
I guess see it through for the. I wouldn't move him now. I wouldn't
send
him down now.
Not for Albies, like Ernie wants.
Probably not, dude. I would see Volpe through this year.
Right now, Volpe might be hitting better than Albies, which is crazy. I don't know if that's just something with the Braves or what, but I think he's hitting 220.
Volpe?
No,
Albies is.
I don't know. Did you watch the game last night? How does he look? How did he didn't get a hit, right?
No. Can't say he did.
Did he look bad at the plate or?
Ground outs is what we're looking at.
So Volpe.
So yeah, I guess so at that point. Yeah.
So yeah, and then also too, I was talking about this before the show because it just reminds me because they're actually really good friends. Playing the minor leagues together. Wells, what do you think the deal is there? Can he figure it out? Because it's we know he has the power, but does he not have one of the worst plate disciplines you've ever seen?
I was gonna say that. Yeah, it seems like he's a player who's not, seeing
needs
pitches
the jacket,
right, dude.
Needs the jacket. Oh my god, every time.
Dude. And again, I don't know if that's just the mentality in the clubhouse right now.
Yeah,
because I don't know. It's hard to say, obviously, but he just needs to see pitches better because he is. We're talking fastballs 6 inches out of the zone, high out of the zone, at his chest. He's swinging at. And it's you really should be laying off those pitches, bud. You know? What the hell?
So, and again, I guess he had a cup of coffee, when he got called up originally, played a
Mhm.
good amount last year. Now he's a full-time starter this year. I mean, is he in the same like timeline? Like who or do you differentiate between the two in terms of being, a future part of this team? I mean, what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think you can pair them both up, right? I mean, they kind of have like different problems. It seems
Different problems,
right?
but just in terms of that, you look at and say, okay, they're going to grow, they're going to be a part of this team in the future. I mean, do you think that is very much a question, the same question for both of them? Or do you think like Wells is better positioned?
I guess it's kind of tough to say. I would say they're both pretty equal in terms of their future with the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think the same?
Yeah. And it's just like going into the year, I mean, especially Wells, I had a lot of expectations for, and yes, that's why we always say it's spring training. But I mean, he was hitting balls into orbit.
Yeah. Crazy.
All spring training. And maybe that was a bad thing. Maybe that was a bad thing because he, it made him think, oh, I can hit 50 home runs this year. I'm just going to try to jack one out every time. And like, I don't know. Is it also too, like, it's like, even though they know they need hits in the worst way and it doesn't need to be home runs right now, is it like, does a selfish part come into it? Because we know how players get paid. They get paid, by putting up big numbers. So it's just like, they don't want to give up the chance to hit a home run, to hit a single.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And again, I mean, I think that goes back to some of the mentality they have in the clubhouse or whatever they're thinking, or maybe whatever they're being taught, like, too. I mean, again, these are young players. I mean, you should be like able to mold them, and they should be. I would think, like, you're a young player in the league, like your hitting coach is telling you to make an adjustment, you make that adjustment. It's not like you're gonna be stubborn about it. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, you're not some egotistical maniac that thinks, you're the greatest hitter in the world. You don't need to make adjustments or anything. Like, these guys should not be, struggling still.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, I don't know. At the end of the day, I mean, I guess you will want to see it through for the season, right? I mean, these guys are young, though. I mean, they could be a part of your future.
Like, I would lean the Wells just because he has that raw power.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And Volpe, yeah, it's just because, like I said, he hit the 20 home runs as a rookie. Now he's not hitting for power, but he's not hitting for average. So then it's like, what is he hitting?
Yeah, no, he's not hitting.
Because like it would be so great if it's just crazy to say, but it's like if he could hit 265 and just steal when he's on base and score from first on singles, but he can't even do that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, and not even hit any home runs.
Right.
He just can't do that. So it just, I don't know. It feels like a big question. I also see Yerny and Kev do.
Yeah, Yerny in the house says, yeah, dude. And then he says, yes, Jordan, he is. As in Volpe being a bust, by the way. Then Kev says, let's go. We want the smoke. Mets and Yanks are bums right now. And then he says, Volpe is trash.
Yeah. I mean, hard to argue with
that. Good defense.
Volpe?
Yeah.
8 errors.
On the season, really?
That's a lot of errors. We're not even halfway through.
That is a lot of errors. Damn.
So I guess it's just, I don't know. The analysis of the season, can drive you crazy. But what do you think, Danny, with Wells and Volpe? I mean, do you think that, like, because I know going into the season, I thought they were a big part of our future. I mean, do you think that's in question?
I think for Wells, it definitely is, because coming up, they were always like, oh, Wells isn't a good enough defender. Wells might be our first base option, whereas Ben Rice might be the first base option in the future, or they might just want to be like, screw the defense and we'll play him as our catcher on days. So I think Wells is at the most risk because all the infielders like George Lombard, Rock Riggio, like they're like young guys that are still in Double-A that are going to take the middle infield. So I think Volpe will at least like get through the rookie contract. But I think he's more secure just based on the way Boone talks about him. The front office talks about him. He's safe. And I think when he's been good, it's like a good stretch. Whereas Wells is like only good if the weather is warm and he's putting balls in the air.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just like, but what just frustrates me with Wells? It's like, I know he's trying so hard to hit home runs, but it feels like if he just tried almost less, that he would actually hit more. because he's just swinging at such bad pitches. But I feel like he has raw power to be a 30 to 40 home run hitter.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, dude. But yeah, it comes down to the discipline and how he's seeing those pitches, and he's obviously not seeing them great. So
yeah. No, and then it's just, I don't know. It's just tough. Like you kind of do a reflection, and obviously, we have high standards, but then, just thinking about the way everybody's looking right now on the team, it's like you don't really have that much confidence in anybody, other than, obviously, Judge is going through it. He's going to be fine. And I do like the way that Stanton, has been looking since he came back. Obviously, it's 2 games. But and I don't know. And what do you think too, Tony, about how I don't even have the numbers, but I would imagine probably hitting around 200 the last couple of weeks. I mean, is that like, do you think that's a concern? I mean, the numbers still look good, but if we went with the splits last couple of weeks, probably not great.
I mean, I don't think it's that much of a concern yet, I guess.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet, dude. I guess we could see the splits here for this month, I guess you're saying, right? So far in June,
170.
Oof.
Yeah, 15 games. So that's 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks, which again isn't crazy, but I guess his trajectory throughout the first couple of months, obviously a lot higher, dude. But hey, I guess the good news is that his season average is still like 300, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he's gonna come out of it. Again, it just seems like that this entire lineup at the same time is going through it. So
yeah,
which is obviously untimely.
How do you have the patience not to lose your mind over it though? Terrible. I mean, how do you navigate that, or is it just hope for the best tonight?
That is the only way to navigate. You're not going to do much else except in your head you got to think that they're going to come out of it.
Yeah.
And,
well, what's tough for me though is I thought that was going to be last night. So it's so even though it seems like it's going to be tonight, but if I thought this way last night and that happened, it doesn't seem like it would be that crazy if the same thing happened again, which would really be insane just because of the 4 shutouts in a row that it would be.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
But I know you were thinking that yesterday, but it is like you said yesterday, though, they are bound to come out of it. Unfortunately, it wasn't yesterday, but now it is going to be tonight.
But you don't think it's like I was kind of alluding to, just that they've let it get to this point that it's like a huge indictment on the players? Like, you really believe that it's just like part of the season?
Yeah, I do believe it's part of the season. We see it all the time every year, I feel, right? With teams, they go through it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but the Yankees, it's June every year.
But then also, too, so it's June every year. So
that's not a bad thing, though, right? Then you're anticipating this.
No, but you know what it is, and I know Danny feels the same way, I'm sure, is like I just don't like looking at our season record and see it. Like, they showed this the last 2 years. We're 20 games over 500, 22 games over 500 first 2 months, and then all the other months are right around 500. It's like, I don't want to see that. Right. I want to see every month we're consistently 7, 8, 9, 10 games over 500. To me, that just doesn't seem like you're trending in the right direction. No, we did it last year, still made the World Series, but it's like these games, do they not remind us of the playoffs? Not hitting, not like doing the instinct stuff right, So it's just it's kind of, you're kind of have trauma from it.
Yeah, they were talking about it, Rick and Dave. I think RJ was saying it. It's like you do get trauma from it. You're looking at this team right now, and if they're playing the Dodgers right now, you're like, we're not going to win that series.
Right.
So I see where you're coming from, obviously, but at the end of the day, what's the alternative besides like these guys are going to come out of it? You are going to come out of it. You did that last season.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess one thing that I don't like is, I was very high. You remember me talking about it coming into this season about having all these homegrown position guys in the lineup. And I just feel like, I know it's like we're still early-ish in the season, but it just seems like that's always has to be a struggle. And Ben Rice, had his hot run, but now he's hitting 227. And I know he's had some bad luck, sure. And it goes with like the theme of the lineup. But that's just one thing that just pisses me off. It just feels like it's never just, and I know, okay, how many guys just come to the majors and just kill it. But like, we can't just have that happen one time. It's happened one time, Aaron Judge, and that's it. So it's like, doesn't that speak to a major player development problem?
Yeah, I would say so. But isn't that what everyone has, like, across the league? Like,
but
Isn't
don't
it just
know.
hard to
But
develop players
I
in the
guess,
major leagues?
I
though?
guess so. What I'm saying is, for a team that has as much money and resources as the Yankees to be considered a very much mediocre developer of talent, I feel like is just a complete embarrassment.
Because you look at other teams, you look at like Ellie is a young player that just came up.
Yeah.
He's been good from the start. Stephen Kwan in Cleveland's been good from the start. Most of the Orioles guys, they were good at the start. Like now it's a different story. But these other teams have players come up and be impactful. The Yankees, it's like, oh, you got to give them time. You got to give them time.
And we just want one, and we can't get one. And like certain guys, okay, they look pretty good, but we can't have one guy just like have a strong year, like just from the start. It always has to be like, I don't know if we should keep him in the lineup. I don't know if we should send him down. Like, why do they struggle so much when they come up? I mean, to me, that just seems like that's a player development problem.
Yeah, no, very, very well.
They're not prepared.
No, yeah, they're not. They're not prepared. I mean, but it is tough. I mean, like, you mention these guys now, but it's like, how often, like, do the Pirates have this great guy that comes? How often?
We're not the Pirates, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's all around the league. Like, like, how often does any team consistently have guys that come to the league and that are good right away and then remain good? Like, it just doesn't.
But I guess
happen.
what I'm saying is, though, you still have some, and it feels like we have zero, and that is my problem.
Like the Yankees for the longest time remain like quadruple A level players,
right?
And that's like not good enough to make the postseason and win meaningful games.
And it's just tough too, because it's like it's giving me trepidation. Because going into the year, I honestly was thinking Wells, Dominguez, and honestly Volpe, like we're gonna like really take a next step and be like a future part of our team. And I still definitely believe that with Dominguez, but like he's still learning, he's still growing. So it's just like, to not have that, like one of those people feel like a sure thing. I don't know. It's just kind of disappointing, I guess.
Yeah, no. I mean, I definitely agree. Listen, it's tough. Like I would love to see a lot of teams. I'd love to see the Mets do that, develop their talent a lot. I mean, they've never had a homegrown talent. The one they have, Alonso, right now, they almost traded him in the offseason. Like, it's
McNeil, the rat.
That's what I mean. Like, what are we talking about?
Alvarez, he looks real good, right?
No, he's looking pretty bad, dude. Like, it's tough. But that's what I mean. I think it's something that is tough around the league and I think to have three young players, and you think you're gonna like hit on all three of them is a little unrealistic.
Yeah,
I mean, it is like one of them you could probably hit on. You know, I mean, I just think it is so tough for a player to come up to this league and immediately make an impact, especially, again, on a team like the Yankees too. It makes it even tougher, dude.
Yeah. But I just think, though, like I said, there should be more than one.
Yes.
There should be more than one in 9 years.
Well, then go apply. Go, come on. Go Somerset. Like, let's go.
I think
trouble with the curve.
I think Danny knows what I'm talking about. You're comparing it too much to the Mets, and I'm not saying that like you're not experiencing something similar, but I think you could argue both teams have been, I know recently all this hype with the Mets farm system, but have had one of the worst farm systems in the league, Tony, though. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I know you're comparing it to the Mets, but I feel like the Mets are a bad example until recently.
Wait, say it again? Who has the best farm system in the league?
One of the worst. I'm saying both of our teams,
yeah.
honestly. So, you know what I mean? That's not a good comparison. Like, it's like, and just like you're obviously frustrated with it. I'm saying it just should be better. Like, there shouldn't, I know it's hard, but it still can be done. And I think that is a combination of scouting and player development.
Yes.
Couple comments?
Yes.
Or do you want to just keep talking about?
Well, to say, like, to your point, though, it's like we have the worst farm systems, and still, like, it's not like you're seeing other teams that are like, whoa, like every year they have a rookie coming up. Like, no one really has that.
But there's still guys. There still are guys, though.
There are guys. Yes.
1 in 9 years for a team with unlimited resources, unacceptable. I don't care if it's tough. You could figure it out.
1 in how many years?
9.
All right, we have a few comments here. Ernie says Tony is the best fit to guide us through this struggle with the eye emojis.
So I guess he's a Wells guy.
I guess so, dude. I guess he is. Buck just says shout out to Donna. Thanks for the friend request. Yesterday.
Fuck us though, right, Michael?
Yeah, really, dude. Honestly, like, God forbid, dude. And of course he says Ernie. And then Ernie says Aaron Judge Barnes.
I think he probably missed me saying Judge.
Yeah, I think so. Besides Judge,
yes, that is the one example. But yeah, so I don't know. Should we do like a GoFundMe for the Yankee player development, or
It sounds like they need some help financially, right? Like obviously they don't have the
partners,
resources, dude. Yeah,
the stables in Tampa, right?
yeah, dude, it's tough, man. You can't, I mean, flying guys around the country, scouting players and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah, no, all the money they spent on Cashman going to see Yamamoto pitch in Japan, that
That's
was
right,
money
dude.
well spent.
Yeah,
Sasaki,
yeah. Oh my god,
all the money that they're going to spend seeing Murakami, and then wait, he's going to sign with the Dodgers. What do you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, I know we've already been talking about it, but let's just officially go to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
Ernie, save the day, my friend.
Go on, stand by. So hooking him up here. He's up. Hold on, sorry, Ernie. Oh, there we go. Ernie, you're live. Let's go, Ernie, dude.
Save us, Ernie. Save us.
Save Brian.
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Listen, I can't believe that this moment is happening, but I gotta disagree with you, Barnes, and actually agree with Tony. It's unrealistic to think that we're gonna hit on every single prospect.
But what about one though? You don't think that's realistic?
But realistically, let's keep it a buck, Barnes. How many Ellie De La Cruzes, O'Neal Cruzes? How many of them are really out there?
But are there not guys? But are there not guys, Ernie, that they don't need to be all stars, but like they're like a solid everyday player? We can't even do that. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yes, we can though. Like, look, Ben Rice is a solid everyday player. The problem is that we have Goldschmidt that we can't sit, and we signed him for a reason. So if we had expected that Ben Rice is going to be as good as he is playing this year, would we have signed Goldschmidt? Probably not, because we're solid at first base now. Once Goldschmidt goes, we're solid at first base. We can't say that Ben Rice is.
But I think, though, even if knowing what I know now, I still would have wanted to sign Goldschmidt because I think he's going to help us in the playoffs, no?
Which is fine, but if we're talking about prospects, we're not talking about right now. We're talking about overall. And Ben Rice has looked great. And once Goldie goes, we have our first baseman and maybe platoon catcher. You get what I'm saying? Now Wells, I do agree with you. Maybe they need to put him in the batting cage and fix his swing a little bit because he's just hacking at everything. And I do understand that. Volpe, a bust. So look, if you have three prospects, one is okay, gonna be fine. The other one maybe needs some bat work. He'll be okay because defensively, at least he's still pretty solid catcher. And the other one ended up being a bust. Yeah, that's not bad.
But also too, like I have my confidence is not wavered in Dominguez, but at the same time, I mean, did you expect him to be doing a little better by now?
You can't though, because he's platooning. At this point, I'd rather see him start every day and then take Grisham and bench him and don't play him every day because he's cooled off. So now give Dominguez the confidence that he needs to play him every day in the outfield. See what happens. But you can't really necessarily talk to his confidence when he's still being platooned and not seeing everyday ball.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. No, I just think like it's like, you know what? I know like we didn't want to waste Trent being hot, but he's not hot right now. So it's like what we don't need to be afraid, just not play him. And I just feel like I want Dominguez, like we're saying, 6 out of 7 games at least every time.
And you know what? Maybe that's a testament to Boone. Maybe Boone is just hung up on his older guys and he's playing the vets right now, which, like Danny said, it's June. Every year we struggle in June. And yeah, it's frustrating to see that every single year. But I mean, look, the trajectory that the Yanks are on, it's fine. All right. We went from super, super high to kind of plateau. Now where it's a little drop, but we're still higher than everybody else. So it's like, if it's going to happen, I'd rather it happen now. But to really question a lot of the development of the players, bro, without them, we'd be a lot worse this year.
Yeah, I like I said, I guess I just thought they would. I thought they would be doing better by now. And then but you know what it is, and it's just like I almost feel like maybe not Volpe, maybe though, because I mean I guess he was hitting well as a younger player in the minors. And
Oh
stuff.
no, it's 100% Volpe. Look at the amount of bases. Like we joke about it all the time, but it's growing every single at bat. He leaves a little village. Like he has left this season a small village of people on base. Like there's probably a village in the Amazon that has less people than he's left on base. Like bro, like it's unreal. And the games that he's left people on base are the games that we've lost. So if we've gotten the production out of Volpe that we were supposed to get, we wouldn't be struggling where we're at. We would be the games over 500 that you want to be at, which is still sometimes I gotta admit a little out of reach. But shit, we would be there. If Volpe produced the way he produced, we will be there. Not necessarily Wells, not necessarily Rice, because these guys are producing. They're getting on base. They're getting walks. They're getting timely hits. But what happens when they get on base and Volpe's in the fucking 8 or 9 hole? Exactly. So it's like, all right, cool. We need to move from Volpe if we're going to see any type of change. The other guys are fine. They're doing their job. They're getting on base. They're being where they're supposed to be. Volpe should be knocking guys in the 8 and 9 hole when you have bases loaded and 1 out.
But you know, and I'm a fan of his. I think he has like just such good raw power. But don't you think maybe he hasn't had as many opportunities in these situations? But I feel like Wells, in terms of clutch, is kind of in the same category because it's like the other night, you know, to go into extra innings, he swung at a pitch above his head. I just feel like I hate him up in a big spot as well.
Well, both of them are struggling in big spots. But here's the thing: Wells, you can see in a big spot and say, okay, 50-50. He's either going to strike out or a pitch 4 feet out of the zone, or he's gonna get a great knock. Do you have any of that 50-50 confidence with Volpe? No.
Yeah. No.
Not at all. You see him come up in a big moment, and I swear to God, it's like watching Brett Gardner 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm excuse me. Looking at our lineup from last night, and it's like top 6, you know, I have pretty good confidence in. You know, obviously Jazz is a wild card at times, but yeah, it's just really the bottom 3. I think DJ's starting to show his true colors. You know, it just it would be nice if they didn't wait till the trade deadline to address, you know, 3rd or 2nd, but I feel like it's going to be right down to the wire with that.
Yeah, they're going to wait till the deadline. They're going to see who's available. Yanks never push a go button early, so it's just, you know, we'll see who's available, who's left, and maybe you get Arenado. I don't know. Maybe the vet is that whole sign of vet spark the team theory happens. Who knows? But it's you know, like I said in the group chat earlier this morning, like people are coming back. We're getting our guys back. The cheese looks good. You know, Judge is going to get out of it. Everybody else has been pretty much a product of bad luck. I mean, shit, Rice is not going to cover off of the ball, but he's just hitting it to where people are. So it's like, it's a bad little, like it's just a bad slump right now. But we'll be fine. We'll be okay.
And I was at first, you know, the whole theory about more second baseman available, you know, wanting to get that and keep Jazz at 3rd. But honestly, seeing the way that he looks at 3rd recently, I feel like I'm more in favor of like a Ryan McMahon now. I think he's just way better at playing second base. No,
I agree. Jazz was never a 3rd baseman. Can you put him there? Sure, but he was never a 3rd baseman. He played outfield and played second base in Miami. So it's like. So, and he even played a little bit of short, but he never really played 3rd base. So, you know, he did that just as I'm a team guy. I want to be a Yankee. I want to be here. You need somebody at 3rd? Copy. I'll go get my glove. Like, and you got to respect that. But at the end of the day, yeah, maybe it's not his strongest suit. So, you know, I personally will never say I want Arenado just because I see it turning into a shit signing. Just we sign him and it's just nothing happens. You get what I'm saying? But I want McMahon. I've always wanted McMahon. I think he's young. He's good. He'll be fine in Yankee Stadium. That lefty swing, yeah, it'll be straight.
And any concern, because I've honestly, Jazz is almost like Wells, where I just feel like he has such raw ability, but the consistency, the decisions aren't always there. And we were kind of joking, but kind of not before. I mean, any flan concerns with Jazz, like in the big spot, like he's messing up because he's too ripped, or you think that's nonsense?
You're asking the wrong person.
No, I know, but it's just Ernie's not playing Major League Baseball, though. I mean,
well, we know that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I personally think that Jazz is just a person of the moment. Like sometimes you can see him get just a little too hype, but I'll never say like Jazz in a moment. I don't want it to play. Nah, because it's just there's moments. He's too good. He's too good to not want there.
Mm. Yeah, no.
Whether
I
he has
agree.
moments or not, he's too good to not want in the moment. If you tell me if you give me 3 batters in the entire Yankee lineup that I want to be there in the moment, well, 4 realistically, which is a good thing. If you're a baseball fan and you could say you want 4 guys in a moment at the bat it's going to be Judge, Stanton, Cody, and Jazz right now.
Yeah, and
if
maybe
there's anybody you want in the box in a moment,
and maybe Goldie, or you're kind of buying into the 170 batting average this month.
I am in if it's a lefty, give me Goldie. If it's anybody else, not too sure.
Yeah, yeah.
The numbers for show itself. He's killing lefties, and everybody else, it's questionable.
Yeah.
But he is murdering lefties. If you have a starting lefty pitcher, you need to start Goldschmidt. The minute they go to the bullpen for a righty, you sub his ass out.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. But I mean, like we were saying in the group chat before, hammer the team total over. It's got to happen.
Hammer until it happens.
And you think too, because they have a righty starting, Coach Konevich, I guess. You think they go with Rice at first tonight?
Probably.
Yeah,
probably.
He didn't play last night.
Yeah, they'll probably have him there just because it's again, if you look at the splits, it's too showing. So you got to start Rice in that moment.
Final score. What were you gonna say?
I wouldn't put it past Boone though to start him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say final score prediction for tonight.
I'm gonna say the Yankees explode 7-2.
7-2. Wow, just on the under too. So I'll have to keep that in mind. I kind of like that. I might go with that in our picks. We'll have to see about that. But yeah, hopefully they turn it around. But yeah, great call, Ernie. Appreciate it. You gonna be around for the grid in and out, or what do we got today?
Possibly not. I have like I said yesterday, I was on another interview. They gave me a face interview now.
Wow. And where is this? Where is this?
This is in Princeton. This is in Princeton, actually.
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah,
so closer proximity for you to home.
Yeah. It's 30 minutes from my house. Same schedule, same pay, same structure, everything. Like,
same thing with the commercial vehicles, or no?
No, actually, I'm. I was approached with this interview. I got an email off of Indeed. If everything goes well by the end of the day, I will be the regional sales manager for Orkin Pest Control in Princeton, New Jersey.
Wow. So completely different scenario.
Yeah, dude.
Now,
when it comes to sales, dude, it doesn't necessarily matter. To me, at least, I've done sales for so long that it doesn't matter what it is. Just give me something that's recession-proof. And bugs are recession-proof.
Yeah, there you go. And would you be on the road like a lot? Or how would it work?
Well, here's the thing. I would be in charge of a crew of guys. So the market that they're in, based off what I was, told yesterday, the market that they're in, they have over like 5,000 customers that are supposed to get home inspections that haven't gotten any. So for the first couple of months, I'll be training these guys on how to door knock, how to really get in front of somebody, how to break ice, and be able to speak to people about getting into their homes and doing a quick inspection that they don't have to pay for. Once I kind of build my team up to do what they have to do, my road time and field time would be minimal because I'll be pretty much managing the office, managing everybody else.
Okay, gotcha. Well, yeah, good luck with that. And great call as always. I don't know why Tony thought that was funny, but yeah, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
The great Erdini. Now, I have to ask, what was the chuckle for there?
This is the way you said that.
You thought it was facetious.
Well, good luck with that. Come on.
I mean, but he's saying he might get the nod.
No,
for
yes.
something. You think I was being facetious?
No, I don't think you were being facetious. You're always very nice to Ernie.
I like how you say to Ernie like I'm an asshole to everybody else. Anyway, we'll move on from that. But yeah, great call. And yeah, for like the 100th time in a row, there's not really much of a Yankee recap. By the way, shout out Donna. She's the best. Good to see her in here. But yeah, I mean, obviously you get shut out and get 4 hits. I mean, what are you really going to say about it other than Will Warren, 11 strikeouts, career high.
Mhm.
Great. Need Yarbrough tonight, need the bats tonight. We'll talk about it in the preview, but that's all I have on the Yankees, unless you want to go player development a little more before the Mets.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, the best prospect they have this decade is playing catcher for the Red Sox.
Oh, Navarez? Yeah.
It does suck when you see like your organization trade away a prospect and ends up doing really well.
And the thing,
how is he doing well?
He is doing well. I actually did pick him up for one of my fantasy teams. And of course, now that I've had him, he's 0-6 his last 2 games. But he killed us when we faced him. But I think we have to be careful with that because I also could see him doing what Paul Goldstrom is doing right now, and then for like the next month at 170. So
yeah, maybe
looks good, and I think he's good defensively. But I don't know if he's going to be a guy that's going to be like this mega offensive catcher. But he obviously looked impressive against us. So we'll see if it's sustainable. But yeah, I mean, and the guy we got for him is still in the minors. I think he's still in.
Okay, that's good. Pitcher. That's good, dude. No, I wasn't being, and I'm saying like that is good. I'm saying because like
no, I'm the only one that's facetious.
Like for like again, like the Mets trade away Pete Crow, Javi Baez, Trevor Williams.
Yeah, I got you. There's still something there.
Yes,
the pitcher is actually pitching well. I know you're earning for the Mets, but I see Matthew.
You see Matthew. Matthew says, "Let's go, dude." He says, "Come on, boys." I'm sure meaning the Yankees. And he says, "Good luck, Erndino."
Was that facetious too, Tony?
Dude, I don't think so.
All right. I know you've been waiting long enough. The Mets, the loss,
we can keep
the
waiting.
tight,
I mean, we can.
the
yes,
Soto,
dude. Very tight,
the Braves.
Very tight, dude. The Braves too, divisional rival. Honestly, you look at one of these losses here, because this game was honestly, you were up 3-0 to start the game. You ended up losing 5-4 in extras, and a lot of it, I guess, was your own doing at the end of the day. Not necessarily the Braves. They made a couple good plays towards the end of the game. Whatever. But this is one of those games where you see yourself shooting your own foot, losing the game. Yes, it's your 4th loss in a row, even with the day off, obviously, still salty in between yesterday's loss and getting swept by the Rays, obviously. But also, I mean, at this point, it's not like you have like all this house money to play with, all right? And the Braves are a team. And if for me, honestly, I look at a win from their perspective, this is like one of those wins against, a team that's leading the division that jumpstarts like a 10-game winning streak. Like, honestly, like that's what I would be thinking if I'm Braves right now. And
like with the Red Sox?
Up. Honestly, like quite literally. And I mean, the Braves, I know Albies sucks. Acuna's still nursing the knee injury. They have a lot of problems across their roster, but they still have a lot of talent on their roster nonetheless, dude, and they have an ability to go off. So obviously you want to keep an eye on that because it's not like, I mean, you look at the standings, for example, and it's like, the Phillies are only 2 games behind you now, and I know the Braves are 12 games back, but still, I mean, that deficit, come after All-Star break, it could be easily cut in half, and then what? They're 5.5 games back, and then it's like, it's legit. Like they're in a run here.
They have the horses.
Like they have the horses, dude, as Brian would say. Excuse me. But nonetheless, here we can recap this game. A lot of hoopla going on, but obviously looking at this game as a Met fan, the first 3 innings were phenomenal, dude. All right, because Schellenbach there on the mound gives up a solo homer to Juan Soto, which is kind of a crazy homer. Honestly, I didn't really think it was going out, but then it did go out. Trotton, 13th homer of the year. You feel really good. It was a slider that kind of caught the barrel of Soto's bat. He was able to hit it towards center, which was great. And then Peterson comes in, bottom of the first, up 1-0. Walks Acuna, kind of worried. You think about the full game pitch prior to, but then White grounds out, double play. Olsen grounds out, and ground outs were the theme for Peterson because he pitched actually pretty well. Second inning scoring does not stop here. Jeff McNeil leadoff single. I think that's a 19-game on base streak at this point for him, which is kind of outrageous. Young flies out, so runner on first, 1 out. Alvarez gets walked. Mauricio strikes out, but then Taylor ropes a double to right, scoring McNeil and Alvarez. It was a great hit by Taylor. roped a four-seamer to right field, made it 3-0. Lindor strikes out to end the inning, but obviously you're still hyped. Bottom of the second comes in. Peterson. Ground out. Albies reaches an infield single to third. Throw by Mauricio was fine. Albies is just really fast, obviously. But in any case, dude, Murphy grounds out, retires his first 6 batters with ground out. So obviously Peterson going for the contact there and, being very, what's what I'm looking for? Ergonomic? No. Doesn't matter. Efficient. That's what I'm looking for. Being very efficient through his first 2 innings, dude. Gets in trouble into the third here a little bit. When really, I guess, what should we call it? I guess you can go top of the third here where some of the idiocracies started here on the bases. Nimmo grounds out to second, first out. Soto gets walked. And then Alonso's here at in the batter's box, and Soto, I guess, goes to steal, but maybe he was trying to disrupt Schwellenbach, but he wasn't having any of it. Like Soto took a big secondary lead as if he was going to steal. Schwellenbach just stops, turns to Soto, and Soto was he stopped, and he's literally in the middle of first and second.
Mr. Fundamentals.
And then he's like, all right, and he tries to kind of whatever, and then gives himself up, and then that was an out right there. So, what could have been, a nice Soto on first.
The run.
With no outs. Now with 1 out, there's 2 outs now, which is great. And then here comes Alonso, who ropes a single to left field, shallow left, Brian.
Uh-huh.
Wants to stretch a single into a double.
Not even close or no?
He did the old swim move, so it kind of looked closer than it did, but
not really.
But we're talking balls caught, second baseman turns, and Alonso's not really there yet, sort of deal. So yeah, pretty obvious that he shouldn't have done that. And then again, it could be runners on first and second with 1 out. Instead, the inning is over.
Yeah.
So it's that obviously there were more mistakes down the road here, but it was those mistakes early on that could have helped the Mets tack on more runs.
Mm-hmm.
You had all of a sudden you have 1 out with a runner in scoring position. Instead the inning's over. And again, just like this game, give momentum to the Braves, an inning like that where you have dumb decisions made, your infield, your defense is finding ways to get outs, momentum shifting for the game.
Oh, yeah.
And then what do you know? We come bottom of the third, and we got some hits going on now. We do get 2 outs to start the inning off for Peterson, a strikeout, Harris, and then Allen grounds out. So you got 2 outs, but then Acuna gets walked, White gets a single, and then Olsen singles to center as well, which scores Acuna. So that's 3-1, just like that. And again, I know it's nothing crazy, but it sucks because again, you're kind of letting them in this game. The 2-out hits are always gut-wrenching too. And obviously momentum shifting for the other team. So it's 3-1, whatever, dude. Then now we can kind of fast forward, I guess, a little bit. Top of the 5th, Taylor hits a homer, a solo shot. It was his 2nd of the season. That was a nice little tack-on run there. For the Mets, bringing their lead back to 3. Schwellenbach does go back out there for the 6th. Does get 3 outs. So does Peterson, strikeout, ground out, and a line out. And then top of the 7th, Schwellenbach goes out there, 3 up, 3 down, all strikeouts. That was the end of his night. Schwellenbach, obviously, kind of a tough outing, I guess. But, after the first 2 innings, I guess, kind of settled down. He also pitched a full game shutout his prior start, which I thought was kind of interesting. And then surprising, I think a lot of people, Peterson gets trotted out there for the 8th, dude, which was pretty wild. I don't know. I think he was at 83 pitches.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
It does make sense. I think Mendoza defended himself really well in the media, and his decision to keep Peterson out there, even after the leadoff walk to Allen, he was like, you know what, Peterson, he was at 80 or 87 pitches at that point, and he was he was getting ground outs all night long. He was getting people grounding out specifically into double plays. Unfortunately, Acuna ropes a single to right, and Allen goes to second, and that was the end of his night for Peterson. So still respectable, obviously. His last 2 outings were very, very solid. Only 1 earned run here. I guess 2 earned runs, I guess, at the end of the day. In any case, tough, dude. Obviously, it is pretty tough at that point, but Garrett comes in, I guess Garrett, obviously, a guy who's been outstanding all year long is asked to be, put in a tough position here. With no outs, 2 men on. Verdugo singles to right. Verdugo, dude.
That had to be tough to see.
Hitting for White, singles to right, and bases are juiced just like that. Garrett, so close to getting out of this, dude. Strikes out Olsen. Riley flies out to shallow right, so nobody moved up, nobody scores. And then Ozuna ropes a double down the left field line, and that scores everybody, dude. Which was obviously really tough. And what sucks too is before that too, I want to say it was Allen maybe who was on second. This was before, maybe before even Garrett came in. I'm trying to remember specifically, but Allen's on second base, dude. Whatever pitch was thrown to Alvarez was somewhat of a wild pitch, I guess. But he locates the ball right away, gets the ball. White is halfway at this point between second and third. And White goes back to second, I guess. But Alvarez threw to second. And then White just went right to third.
Yeah. I mean, just like, what do we...
So why? Yeah, like why? Like, I don't know why he did that. Instead of just running at him like he should have, and then make a decision on where you're throwing. And then that guy goes on third base, so like that could have been an out, all right, and which could have got you either out of the inning or, in any case, the Ozuna double wouldn't have scored 3, would have scored 2, still a 1-run game.
Right.
Instead, because of that mistake, fundamentally, it's a tie game, 4-4. Obviously, the rest of it. Diaz comes in 9th. Great job there. Lee pitched for Atlanta, 3 up, 3 down. Can get anything going there. Alonso grounded the double play. Not great. In any case, go to the 10th inning, top of the 10th here. Young strikes out.
Young being in the game, that they should have had Marte.
Definitely should have.
Yeah.
Young, who struck out earlier in the game, obviously young player, big spot, doesn't have much experience there. Also has been like chasing every pitch he sees almost.
Player development.
What do you know? He strikes out swinging here. Player development, not great. Strikes out way ahead of this changeup, dude. Like way ahead of
falls
it.
Over almost.
Literally the lean forward.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The classic, like just way out ahead of it, dude.
2011.
Literally. And obviously you Iglesias, I guess, in the 10th, luckily is facing the bottom 3 players of the lineup. Alvarez, another one who hasn't had much going offensively. Mauricio, another young player who swings ahead of everything, it seems. And then bottom of the 10th here, Brazoban comes in. They walk Acuna. Verdugo pops out to third. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Williams. This was it. This was the wild pitch that probably really should have been, honestly, like a blocked ball. Mm-hmm. Like it was definitely, I know they scored it here, a wild pitch, I suppose. I know it doesn't really matter because they end up, Olsen got walked, bases are loaded anyway, but still. Then Riley, sack fly to center.
Deep center, like not even close.
Deep center. Honestly, Taylor made this tremendous, like leaping, stretched out, all against the wall catch. I mean, he did, but obviously at that point,
he scored before it reached the pitcher's
literally.
Bounds.
Yeah. And then that's the game. A walk-off sack fly. Again, it just seems like one of these games, almost like Friday's game against Tampa Bay, where you had a lead early, you had it in the bag, you made a few mistakes, you let the Rays, or in this case, the Braves, hang in, and then you lose in extras. And it sucks, dude, obviously, because it's, it's one of those games that you felt like you really needed, and it just seems like for the rest of the series now, all the momentum is for the Braves. You're obviously here on the road. These games are important. Braves, Phillies, Braves, back to back to back here. I mean, it's for the division. These divisional rivals here, and, you don't want anything really to be in question, and you don't want to give life to the Braves. And you did exactly that this year, or this series, this game, last night, whatever, and you did it on the helm of base running mistakes, defensive mistakes, and really that was it, dude. Because, like, Peterson pitched his ass off, in my opinion. Garrett was 1 pitch away from like maintaining a 3-run lead.
Yeah.
And those are 2 guys, Peterson and Garrett. They've been, as well as the rest of your pitching staff, who have been like doing it all season. They've been great. They've been reliable. They've been in jams. They've gotten it out. Like Peterson with the first career full game shutout. And it's mistakes at the plate on the bases that absolutely killed you. That absolutely killed the game, dude. That's why it feels like such a gut-wrenching, like no excuse type of loss here. And now you go into tonight, you got Chris Sale on the mound, which I know he hasn't been phenomenal, but you know what he could do. And you got Paul Blackburn that you're
and
asking.
You know what he could do.
You know what he could do, which is unfortunate here. Last time we saw him was that Friday game that you blew a 3-0 or a 4-0 lead. After Clay Holmes gets pulled after 5 innings, you get Paul Blackburn. And again, I don't blame Mendoza, but because of your pitching injuries, you know that this start was coming up. You know you have to stretch Blackburn to get extra innings. He hasn't pitched a ton here. You were forced to use him on Friday. Now you're obviously have to use him today. Today. With the injuries you have to pitching staff. I don't know if you saw McGill on the 15-day IL.
Oh.
So, I mean, again, this pitching staff is getting stretched pretty thin. You have to rely on Blackburn, who had one good start this season already. But like I said, the last time you saw him relieving Clay Holmes on Friday, it wasn't good at all. And it just feels like that this Braves lineup is on the precipice of, finding some offense. And honestly, if I'm them and I'm seeing Paul Blackburn on the mound today, I'm licking my chops a little bit.
Yeah.
So you don't feel good right now about winning this series. You obviously feel pretty shitty about last night, and it's just like stupid mistakes that could have been avoided on the bases specifically. And then on top of that, Alvarez looks horrible. Why is Alonso stretching singles into doubles?
These are the things.
There's no reason for that. You're up 3-0.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to get something go. Like, why is Soto playing fucking whatever nonsense in between first and second, which Fellenbach, like, you're up 3-0. Like, just continue to play the same game you played the first 3 innings.
Right.
And you probably would have won this game 5-2. But instead, you lose out on offensive opportunities mid-game, and you let the Braves creep in, and you lose in extras. And it sucks, dude. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not a good feeling. Yeah. Obviously, the only thing that fixes it, winning tonight.
There's a win today, dude. Or today.
What do you think about the Tom Selleck call there? You hear it all the time.
Henny. Bro, this guy was like Tom Selleck. I do hear it a lot. So I mean, thanks for tuning in, Henny. I think Henny, who we've heard from before, I believe.
It's been a while though.
He says he's a Lightning fan.
But what does that have to do?
I guess does he know or think that I'm a Rangers fan? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Panthers fan. If that's what you're thinking.
I guess.
But hey, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Good for the. I mean, honestly, it's been kind of crazy how many years the Cup has been in Florida. Honestly,
yeah. And how about there's been a team from the U.S. that has won the Grey Cup more recently than the team in the NHL winning the Stanley Cup.
That is pretty wild. And we got a little breaking news, I guess.
What?
Matt Rempe extended, dude, for the New York Rangers.
What do you think? Sullivan get the best out of him?
I mean, I guess maybe, dude. I mean, listen, the guy has improved, I think. Since his first, I guess, couple months in the league. Obviously, he came in. I remember so specifically the outdoors game, Islanders, Rangers, Rempe. You fight Matt Martin. I mean, that takes a lot of guts, obviously, and then you get into like 3 more fights the next 3 games. But at the end of the day, I think there was a disdain for him with the fighting, and I think he answered quite well. I mean, you watch him this past season on the ice. He's skating better. He's looking more to play the puck than it is just to play the body, I suppose. And he obviously has that, presence on the ice, the physicality still. So I like that. I think he's a player who could develop. Speaking of teams that don't develop players, well enough, that is the New York Rangers.
Seems
so
like
it should be
in the
interesting
water,
to see,
I guess, right?
Perhaps, dude. It should be interesting to see how he continues to develop. And I do think that Sullivan will get more out of him. And not for nothing, I mean, him and Edstrom, on that 4th line, dude, I mean, they were dominant forwards, and they were producing sometimes when no one else on the team, on the roster was last season. So I kind of like that call. What is the extension? Do you have details?
2 years.
2 years is good, though. I mean, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Probably what?
Like 5 million?
6 million. Maybe terms not disclosed.
Terms not disclosed, maybe. I guess I could also try. We determine dude, 2-year contract extension. Doesn't say for how much, I guess.
Probably terms not disclosed.
Maybe not.
But yeah, it's probably not for much. So
can't be.
Yeah, I think it's solid. I know what's not solid has been the picks. What are the updated standings?
47-55.
Same record?
Yeah, we're tied still.
What did
tied
we go last night?
We both went 2-4.
I think I have first
What are
pick.
you laughing at?
I have
dude?
first pick tonight, right?
You do have first pick tonight.
All right, let's do it.
Play
Six
ball.
pack MLB pick segment. Hirsch Law Firm. The scoreless streak. How many innings will it go at Yankee Stadium? So we got Ryan Yarbrough matched up here against Jack Kochanevich for the Angels. The total's 9.5. The Yankees, despite a 5-game losing streak, are minus 210 favorites. And I mean, we talked about this all in the beginning. The runs, the hitting, the situational. And listen, I think Yarbrough against this Angels lineup probably could pitch pretty well. You know, maybe similar to what Warren did last night. Maybe only 2 runs over 5 or 6 innings. Offense has got to go. Does it not feel like Stanton's going to hit one out? And Judge, because Judge couldn't be hitting worse right now as the rest of the team. So I'm going with Ernie's prediction of 7-2. So that'd be the Yankees in the under. Let's let the good times roll. Enough with this nonsense. What we've seen the past 5 games is an exception. It's not the standard.
An exception, not the standard, dude. All right, my first game here is really what I should say. I guess I'll go with the Mets, dude. I'm honestly not loving it. I was going to maybe even leave it, but I don't even love, honestly, some of the other matchups going around the league necessarily, dude. Yeah, so let's go, dude. The Braves, Truist Park, we know, Sale, Blackburn, whatever, dude. I think the Mets, offensive explosion. Paul Blackburn, 5 innings, 4 earned runs. Not great, though. Bullpen, though. You throw Craddock in there.
Throw Stanek in there.
I guess, but how much confidence do you have in Stanek? Oh,
SJ.
my God, dude. I would say the Mets, offensive bonanza. Soto's tight. Alonso's tight. No more of this nonsense bullshit around the bags, all right, dude? I'm thinking dingers for 4 players on the roster. Soto, Alonso, I'll say Lindor, and then I'll say Jeff McNeil as well. Alvarez, probably over 4 spot. We'll talk about him tomorrow. Mets win this one. I'm going to say 8-7 in a nail-biter, dude. Give me the McNeil 8th inning, 2-run homer. Give them the lead. They close it out. What's up? Mets in the over. Let's go.
Sounds like Bartolo Colon's pitching for the I messed it all up. The Braves and not Chris Sale. Anyway, you know who's pitching for the Tigers, John Pollock? That's Tariq Skubal.
Good night to pick him.
Hammer it. Going up against Andrew Heaney. 6.5, a low total, but I think it's going to go under that. I think Skubal, honestly, I'm going to say complete game shutout. I think he has the stuff against a weak Pirates lineups to do it. 10 Ks, complete game, 4 runs for the Tigers. Glaber goes yard, 4-0 Tigers. Tigers and the under.
Tigers and the under. It's a great pick right there. I guess I'll go to a divisional rival here. There's 2 of them here. Miami, dude. Let's go the Marlins facing off against the Phillies. Ranger Suarez on the mound. 5-1 record, 2.32 ERA against a no-name Adam Moser, dude. I don't know much about Moser, to be honest. 24-year-old out of Woodbury, Minnesota. Minnesota, dude. I mean, I think this guy's going to get absolutely tattooed. I don't know if he's making his major league debut. It seems like he is. Actually, does his career stats. 8 starts here, 33 2/3 innings pitched, from 6 homers, 28 earned runs. Whoa, dude. I'd say he gets popped here. Phillies go up to a 5-0 lead early on. Hold on to that 5-run lead. They win 8-3. Phillies and the over.
All right. So 3rd game, final game. Can we have a good night? Can we have a winning night with the picks? Definitely that is in question. That is for sure. But I am going to go with the Astros. They are at Sutter Health Park, Sacramento, California. You got Framber Valdez, solid 7-4, 3.10. Luis Severino missing the state of New York, 2-6, 4.47. A's obviously had that hot start, have tapered since. Astros looking solid despite not having Yordan Alvarez. You look at last night, the Astros won 13-3, avenging that 3-1 loss on Monday. But I think we're going to see the Astros put up a 9 spot here on the Athletics, and I think at the end of the day, they're going to win 9-2. So give me the Astros and the over.
Astros in the over. Great call there. We're down over, dude. My third and final pick here. We're going to go with a classic one here. We're going to go with the old fade the White Sox. The White Sox looking to make it 7 losses in a row here. 7:40 p.m. They'll be facing up against the St. Louis Cardinals. A familiar face in Sonny Gray will be towing the slab there for the Cards. 7-2 in the year, 3.84 ERA. Coming off his worst start of the season, actually, against Milwaukee. 4 1/3, 6 earned runs. Due for the bounce back, dude. I think he can give you a solid 7 innings, 1 earned run ball, maybe a double digit, the elusive 11 strikeouts on the night, dude. Speaking of games that happened last night, the Cards beat the White Sox 12-2 last night. I'm going to say something similar. I'm going to say 7-2, which would put the Cards in the win column and the game just on the over. Cards in the over, buddy.
Just like that. MLB 6-pack. Let's get some W's. And let's go to Cromwell, Connecticut, because the Travelers Championship.
Grid?
Tony, you had to do that to me.
I mean, well, you want me to skip it? We can skip it.
Skip the grid? You want to skip the
Pretend I
grid?
didn't say anything. We'll just go to Cromwell.
No, we could not pretend you didn't say anything. I'm surprised. That's 2 in the last week. I'm disappointed in myself, but that's
Less
right.
than 7
I think
days.
it's because Ernie said it wasn't going to be here. I think that just got me not thinking. Anyway,
Whatever, dude, you and Ernie.
No, that's Bucket and Ernie. But all right. So
Jock Peterson.
I mean, let's not get crazy, Tony. You know.
What's wrong with Jock Peterson, dude?
No, I'm just kidding. But I'm saying let's just make sure. I could see that being a popular one. No.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think maybe people forget he wasn't exactly like a big name player, but yes, we can also think about it a little bit longer if you want. I don't mind, dude. Get the music back up here. Get the people going.
But I'm trying to think, though, who else would it really be? Is Kemp more popular? Wilson Betterment?
I would think your Wilson Betterment call.
Go Betterment.
Wilson Betterment, dude. 0.3.
There we go.
Dude.
There
That's
we
definitely,
go. Yep.
definitely
See,
a good
you think
one.
about it for a second.
Think about
Good
it for a
stuff.
second, dude.
Good stuff.
No, yes, that's great stuff. Great job. I'm gonna see how much fucking. I want to see how much Peterson.
I did it already. 3%.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
What
do you know? What do you know?
What do you know, dude?
Astros and the Dodgers. What is that like? You hear that?
That beep noise.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't know where
never
that's
heard that
coming from,
before.
dude.
Astros Dodgers. Just trying to think about.
Maybe because I'm still on the Bluetooth. Maybe. Let me see. Well, I think maybe it was because I just went off the Bluetooth. It made a little beep.
There you go. But kind of a tricky spot, Astros Dodgers, no?
Yeah, dude. Astros Dodgers is kind of tough.
Right? Like, I don't think Dotel pitched for the Dodgers, right? No.
I don't think so either. Where was Trinan before LA?
No, he was with the Nationals and the A's.
The A's was the other team. Okay.
I was trying to think about like starting pitchers too. But yeah, Verlander pitched against the Dodgers.
Never with. Nomo never pitched with the Astros.
No, and I don't think Edwin Jackson pitched with the Astros.
I don't think
right?
so either, dude.
I
I do have a good one for a Gold Glover on only one team, though.
What do we got?
I forget what the question was for some Rothenberg, but Johnny Bench, catcher, Reds.
Okay.
Back in the day, I would imagine no one's really thinking him. Johnny Bench, there it is, dude. From 67 to 83, dude. 1%.
There we go.
We'll take it.
There we go. And then the 200 career pitching wins.
I mean, with the Braves, obviously you could do Glavine,
Maddox and Schmaltz.
Schmaltz.
I'm trying to think though, did they have Anybody else?
With 200 wins. Braves, 200 wins, dude.
Such a this is kind of a tough one. Astros Dodgers though, I feel like we gotta be able to get this too. You know,
There's Zach Greinke, but I don't know if he's going to be the most popular
yeah.
guy.
I would think he would be.
Yeah, I would think you would.
I know
too.
we weren't thinking of him, but
Yeah. There's got to be relievers, catchers. I don't think Tyler Clippard was on the Dodgers. Hader wasn't on the Dodgers. Charlie Morton wasn't on the Dodgers. Not Brad Lidge. So
Brad Hand, he's been on a bunch of different teams.
I don't think he was on the Dodgers though. You know what's a good one? Braves Gold Glove, Andrelton Simmons. That's it. That's a yearning.
Simmons. 6%. There we go. We'll take it.
There we go.
Stroh's Gold Glover. I think Verlander had a Gold Glove.
I'm trying to think. I'm so bad with the pitcher Gold
Garrett Cole?
Gloves.
No, I don't think Garrett Cole.
No, I don't think Garrett Cole either.
I can see Greinke having a Gold Glove with the Astros. I know that's tough,
the
dude.
Pitching Gold Glove.
The pitching Gold.
But
Well,
it doesn't need to be a pitcher.
It doesn't need to be a pitcher, but I'm just thinking normally those are lower percentages.
I'm
you
just
go
trying to think. Altuve, probably
1,000.
Bregman.
Mm-hmm.
You think Bregman 1,000?
I would think any of the most recent
Correa probably won it at some point.
Correa
too, right?
probably did. Yeah, any of the most recent Stros.
Do we think Beltran? Did Beltran win it? When
He wasn't
there?
really there long
I
enough.
know
No, he
he
was there at the
wasn't.
end, right? Wasn't he just there at the end?
Yeah, in 2017.
I mean, he could have had a
Wait
Gold
a second,
Glove.
though. He was on the Astros twice?
Yeah, he was in the Astros
Okay,
twice.
but still, I don't know if he would have won it mid-season because before he went to the Mets. But I would think, I don't know, maybe Altuve, not Altuve, but Correa, because not everybody's thinking about Correa on the Astros. It's been a while now.
Carlos Correa, you ready?
Yeah.
6%.
I mean, not bad.
Way
right?
lower than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. All right, here we go. Only one team, 200 career.
I'm trying to
wins.
think too. There's no one that the Braves have gotten that didn't really pitch there that much, ended the career.
Braves
200
end of
wins
career
is a fucking lot.
I feel like maybe if we do Smoltz will be the least, because everyone picks Maddox or Glavine.
And he definitely got 200.
Smoltz?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'd like.
And you know what's easy to do for Dodgers? It's guys that have only pitched for the Dodgers. So could be Yamamoto
Or Dalton
Saki.
Rushing.
Dalton Rushing.
Yeah.
Oh, is he in the majors?
Yes.
Okay. Then do him. He'll be nothing. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
Who is he?
He's their backup catcher.
Okay.
Oh, nice. 1%.
There we
dude.
go.
There we
There
go,
we go.
dude. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. So, any help from StreamYard?
No one, dude. Jimmy
Butka.
Butka says, on my break right now, Barnes, you need to win and wake the fuck up.
Yes, I think they're scoring 7 tonight, Jimmy. It's over. The bad times are over. Come on.
Of course, we have no help, and it's a grid like
Astros, Dodgers.
Zach Greinke.
Yeah, I think he's going to be way too high.
Yeah, it probably is going to be really high. I guess there must not be a lot. I mean, there must not be a lot.
I think there's got to be with
Roberto
relievers.
Alomar.
No,
I don't know.
not Tommy, not a Lou. Kent didn't play for the Dodgers, right?
I don't think so.
And do we just do the? I guess do we just do Smoltz for the Braves?
Yeah, I'm down.
I just feel like there's no one else.
Do we
That
think Charlie Morton doesn't have 200 saves?
No, he doesn't have 200 wins. I bet he
I
doesn't even have
wouldn't think
150, honestly.
Really?
Because he's not like he had a bunch of years where he's winning like 18, 19 games, you know?
Who is on the Braves that have 200 wins? Bart? I don't think Bart has 200 wins.
No.
I think we got burned on him before. I think he has like 196 or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess that it would make sense to. No, but actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I think about how many years Cologne pitched though. Probably does have 200. He's had 20 wins before. He's won the Cy Young. I mean, he pitched for what, 23, 24 years?
Yeah.
I feel like go with Bart. Executive decision.
All right, dude.
On me.
All right. If you say so.
3%.
Wow,
Think about how much
dude.
percentage points we saved.
Oh my God! Forget. I'm so glad I mentioned that.
Yeah. Great call by you.
Great
and
executive decision by
affirmative
you.
me.
Yes.
But Dodgers Astros, like, are we kidding?
What about who's that dude?
Not Kemp,
Outfielder.
Ethier, Puig.
Hayward.
Hayward was on the Astros, wasn't he?
Was he on the Dodgers? I think he was on the
Yeah, he was
Dodgers.
on the
Yeah, he
Dodgers,
was
yeah.
on the Dodgers. I
Was
do
he?
think he was an Astro.
Yeah.
He was an Astro.
Yeah, just do it.
Hayward.
Yeah.
Jason.
3%.
All right.
All right. So now we're just down
Take
to
a deep
200
breath here.
wins for the one team and the Astros.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be a good number too right now. I feel we gotta keep this up, dude. Only one team, 200 wins.
I know there's like this big Astros pitcher in '86. He's the guy that like all the Mets hated because he was the guy that scuffed up the ball. But I don't know
Negro,
his
but did he
name.
pitch on
Phil
multiple teams?
Negro. I feel like Phil Negro definitely pitched on multiple teams.
Yeah, but for Astros,
But Astros 200 wins.
Oh, it doesn't. I see what you're saying. But was it Phil or Joe? Definitely Phil,
I don't know.
right?
I mean, let's see if there's any help from the crowd.
Whitey Ford?
Josh B with the Whitey Ford call.
Did he win 200 games?
Did he pitch for just the Dodgers or
No,
just the Yankees?
The chairman of the board?
But I thought he pitched for the Dodgers too at some point. You only pitched for the Yankees?
I don't remember him pitching for another team. No,
All
actually,
right.
you know what? Let's go with Josh B.
Let's go with Whitey
Josh B.
Ford then.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I thought I had his baseball card, and he was. But then
No, he
again,
definitely didn't pitch for the Dodgers. I'll tell you that much.
Ford.
14%, but it's
14%,
right,
but
which
it's
is
right.
important.
It's huge.
Thank you, Josh B.
Thank
And
you, Josh
then
B, dude.
The 200 wins for the Astros. The Necro.
Phil.
I mean, Phil seems like the more popular one, but do we know that he won 200?
No,
He pitched for so long.
we don't know.
But it's like, what are we going to do? Verlander for 800%?
I mean, at this point, it's. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess we could. What's our score right now? 9, 12, 15,
Also, though, but do we
16,
know?
20, 34. We're at 35 right now. So
But actually, I'm not even sure. Like, did he pitch for the Astros?
I don't know for sure.
Oswalt probably didn't win 200, right?
No.
Probably was close, though, no?
Do you think
And then,
there's
like,
no way Keuchel pitched long enough?
Clemens.
Clemens. Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah, because if everyone's saying like Nolan Ryan or
Right.
JV,
Or Pettit? Did Pettit win 200 games? I feel like he did.
I feel like he would have. Yeah.
I think go Pettit.
200 wins is a lot though. I don't know. Andy Pettit
Wow, what was it? What was the
must have
percentage?
been like 10%, 8%.
Pretty
dude.
good, though, huh?
I would say pretty solid.
I think
dude.
that's really how you put a grid together.
Yeah, we were stumped for a while there.
Yeah, but we did it.
Had no top
let's just say
answers,
for
dudes.
how we struggled, Ernie better get that position.
yeah, that's right. That's right, dude.
So now we can finally go to Cromwell, Connecticut, Travelers Championship, last signature event of this season. And this has been a very popular event since it was established in 1952. TBC River Highlands, par 70, 6,844. So you don't exactly need to bomb it to win here. Aggregate tournament record 257 Keegan Bradley. Tom Norris was 2,500 par 1982. Last year, Scotty Scheffler won in the playoff over Tom Kim 2,200 par. And that was one shot behind Bradley for that record. And the purse has been the same for the past 3 years, $20 million. Winner getting $3.6 million. And it's all been high winning scores. Scheffler at 22, Bradley at 23, Schauffele at 19, Harris English at 13, Dustin Johnson at 19, Ches Reavie at 17, Bubba Watson at 17, and Jordan Spieth at 12. And since 2015, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 playoffs in this event. So you think about, a 10, 11 year span. So it's almost half of the time, we've had playoffs. So that makes it exciting. And being that's a signature event, you got the, you got the full field here. So everybody that you can imagine, the Scotty, the Rory, the Xander Schauffele, the Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, Russell Keenley, Sepp Straka. It feels weird seeing JJ Spawn at 8 in the world right now. That's what he is. Victor Hovland at 9. Ludwig Aubert, Hideki Matsuyama, Robert McIntyre, Maverick McNeely, Ben Griffin, Shane Lowry, Tommy Fleetwood, Sam Burns, Patrick Cantlay. Limited field, no cut. Matthew Ryan. So, some of your lowest ranked guys in this field: Luke Clanton, sponsors exempt, Brian Campbell, Ricky Fowler, Adam Hadwin, Gary Woodland, Max Homa. So kind of interesting, like I said. And also too, is this not going to seem like a putt coming here from Oakmont?
A putt?
Meaning like that it's like the easiest thing you can imagine.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, coming from the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. I mean, and it seemed like the weather is going to be nice, right? Like not too crazy hot, I guess, but still.
Kinda, we're getting there.
But
There's an airflow problem.
An airflow problem.
I don't know. When I was there, it was so steamy. Like it was probably even hotter than it's gonna be. Still gonna be mid to high 80s and almost 90 by the end of the weekend. So it's gonna be hot.
But like again, compared to last weekend, though, I'm sure they'll be welcoming this warm weather.
Oh, you're saying because of the rain?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying no, for the spectators, it's tough. That's all I was getting at. I know, but we're talking about the players. You're saying fuck the spectators. Okay. Okay, Tony.
I didn't say that, dude.
You didn't say it, but you thought it.
By the way, JD Martinez, dude, Houston Dodgers, dude. Got a fucking
yeah.
Oh,
I know. But Hayward was a good one.
Yeah, I think Hayward.
Yeah, Hayward was all
pull.
right. Hayward was good, dude. And Josh B enjoyed the Pettit pull.
Yeah. Yeah, Pettit. Man, I wish Andy just didn't do the steroids.
Oh.
He would be in the Hall of Fame right now.
Probably, man.
Yeah, but
in any case, U.S. Open, Travelers, hype, dude, Connecticut. Like I said too, I know some people working event, dude. I don't know if Thorne's working. I wouldn't be surprised, but sometimes he turns down those ones.
Yeah.
It's like I got
maybe Reed Fowler, PGA Tour Live.
You think so?
Could be.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, haven't seen him in a while.
No.
But what about Matthew Ryan? Is he tuned into the Travelers or?
Probably not, dude. Talking shit about the Mets.
Too busy
Juan
chirping.
Soto, dude. Tony's just salty.
But are you salty on a winner in a sleeper for the Travelers ship?
I don't think so, dude. I think I got a winner picked out. I mean, it is like 40-1 odds. Is that like considered an underdog?
Yes,
like, it would be considered an underdog because it kind of feels like cheating, honestly, to pick that as an underdog.
Just do what you want to do. Go ahead. No, I'm serious. Like I'm not going to be tight. This is what I'm getting at. But now,
all right. All right. So for my winner, I'll go with Scotty. The back-to-back. Why not, dude? The shootout, I would say, last year with Tom Kim. They seem to have a great relationship too. Those two. So it was really nice to see them. Kind of end the tournament. They seemed happy for each other, no matter what the outcome would have been. But obviously, the 22 under seems to be something that could be replicated here. We know how good Scotty is, how good he is specifically after major tournaments as well. And obviously going back to back is nothing that is new to Scotty Scheffler. So I say he kills it, goes back to back. Like you said, have to pipe it down the fairway. But if his chips, if his iron work, if his putts have been solid like they've been for the past 5-6 tournaments, no doubt he could be a winner here. And I say he wins, I'll say 20 under. So a little bit, maybe you can say higher scoring, I guess, from last year, but nonetheless around the ballpark here. And then my sleeper will be someone who has scored in statistics such as strokes gained off the tee, approaching the green as high as Scotty Scheffler the past 4 tournaments, and also a previous winner of the Travelers. We're going with the New England native, Vermont native specifically, one of my fan favorites, Keegan Bradley. I think coming in this tournament, obviously sees this course really well. He is your 40-1 shot.
Saw him win it there in 23.
Saw him win it there in 23.
In person, in the steam.
Yeah, the airflow problem. Not a problem for Keegan Bradley here, okay? The Woodstock, Vermont native, I say, is going to be my sleeper peer. Like I said, I think has played this tournament 12 times, a dozen times, let's say. Has only been cut here twice since 2011. He's been coming to this tournament. Multiple top 10 finishes. Speaking of multiple top 10 finishes, he has 4 of them this year. No wins yet, so you could also say he's due and playing some of his best golf this season right now. Give me Keegan Bradley. I'll say he win it at 24 under at that point. And I'd say that's my favorite and sleeper, dude.
All right. And from one past champ to the other, I'm going to go with Xander Schauffele. You know, just has had a disappointing year coming off 2 major victories last year.
I like that.
It's been over a month since he's had a top 10. And, you know, last 2 years, 19th and 13th here. But if you look at the last 4 years, just a cumulative score, 16 under, 14 under, 19 under, 12 under. So clearly he plays this course very well. He's due for a win. He's coming off of Oakmont. Like I said, this is going to seem like a putt-putt. So I'm going to say Xander at 21 under par. As a sleeper, the theme of the past champs, let's go with Jordan Spieth. I mean, he's earning for something right now. Barely made the cut at Oakmont. And earning for a win. And I mean, what was more riveting, Tony, than in 2017, seeing him chip in from the bunker on 18 to win. So I think if he wins, it'll be at 17 under par. So Travelers Championship, always a fun event for sure. So, you know, looking forward to watching this one and TV coverage. I know that this is going to start with the PGA Tour live coverage, yes, 7:30 on ESPN Plus tomorrow. And I think this is Golf Channel, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we're gonna go Golf Channel later on. Looks like, what are they gonna pick the coverage up at like 3:00? Of course, it doesn't want to move over, but I believe that's the case. I can't believe this thing won't move over. Like, it's like, are you serious? I know it finishes up on CBS though. So anyway, looking forward to that. I think Fowler will be in the booth. It seems like it would be. You know, he lives in Stanford. You know, remember I played with him at Gainer Brown.
That's right, dude.
So I bet he'll be in the booth for this one. So we'll see.
That'd be sick, dude. Maybe he'll invite you.
Yeah, maybe. Probably not, but maybe. But yeah, and then you know, nothing was really that exciting for me. I honestly, I kid you not, Tony, did not watch 1 second of really like the Stanley Cup playoffs, but definitely the Stanley Cup finals. But the Panthers champions once again. Blowout, right? What was the final?
I mean, I guess
5-0.
Yeah, 5-0. Yeah, 5-1. Sorry, 5-1. They
would
didn't score one at the end there.
Blowout.
Yes.
Who ended up winning the Conn Smythe?
Oh my God, not Sam Reinhart.
Reinhart.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But I mean, is this kind of like the
Sam
makings of a dynasty here?
I don't think it was
2 straight championships and 3 straight finals, right? I mean, kind of crazy, no?
Yeah, dude. I think it really is crazy.
Paul Maurice.
Paul Maurice, obviously great coach. When you're looking at you know, this team also, I mean, like, not for nothing, like, people did kind of count them out a little bit this year. You're like, oh, they're probably not gonna do it again, you know, another year older. They had a tough start to the year as well. But obviously they proved everybody wrong. You know, I think, you know, obviously you have these players like Reinhardt who had 4 goals last night. I think 2 empty netters though. Not to take anything away from that. I mean, it's still pretty impressive. Obviously 4 goals in your you know, cup winning game. That's awesome. And obviously the acquisition of Brad Marchand was so absolutely like ridiculous, to see this guy after, I don't know, it's been like at least a dozen years since he's won the cup, right? With Boston. So to see him win it again, to see him kind of talk about how accepting this group of guys were, and obviously the level of play he had throughout the playoffs. By the way, it was Sam Bennett who won the Conn Smythe, not Sam Reinhart, the other Sam. But in any case, looking at Brad Marchand, I mean that was, like I said, it was just a great move by the team. That was absolutely huge. Again, you look at his stats, postseason specifically, not even the addition right away. He was 20 points in the postseason over 23 games. He had 20 points, 10 goals, 10 assists. And he was just one of those players that helped just get into the minds of the other team. And obviously, a veteran player has been here before, knows what it takes to win, and he did exactly that. It should be really interesting to see where he goes next year. It was mad funny in the post game. The reporter asked him, "You gonna stay next year?" And he was like, "I'm gonna celebrate right now."
So basically, no.
No. It was more like why are you even fucking asking?
No,
me
but
that
he's
question
not
right now.
because I think just with the cap and shit, and he probably won't.
He should fucking retire. Honestly, if I was him, dude. He's probably not gonna.
He's not gonna retire. Also, too, obviously, probably bittersweet. Like a bittersweet frenzy that it is. I was looking at the conditions of this trade. So that it was for a second round pick. But it became a first round pick if the Panthers win 2 rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs, which they did, and Marchand plays at least 50% of the game. So they ended up getting a first round pick. So I think it worked out good for the Bruins. Right? They weren't going to make the playoffs, and technically they could re-sign him. Not that I would expect that, but
technically they could. Table. And I'm sure he wouldn't be opposed to going back to Boston, honestly.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't be opposed, honestly, to that deal. He's a fucking rat. He would be a little slimy little guy like that. But in any case, dude, and especially Boston, talk about another team that doesn't develop talent very well. Geez. In any case, dude, it is somewhat of a dynasty look here for the Panthers. Obviously, winning back-to-back cups is really hard, and to do it in the fashion they did it, to take down a powerhouse that is Edmonton. And not for nothing, you did it a little bit more decisively this year. Like this come around, it was more of a decisive victory. Even the games were more decisive. So so it was pretty cool to see. And I don't know. I obviously I was tuned into this game, had it going on, the double, the Mets, whatever. But it's always cool to see Barkov, hoist the cup, Bobrovsky hoist the cup, and stuff like that, dude.
I give you credit. You're a good sport, Tony. I don't know how you do it.
Honestly. For me, I don't know. For me, hockey is such a player sport.
But you don't get that thing that you get with like the Mets and stuff, where it's like you see another team celebrating, you're like, can I just experience this one time?
No, of course I feel that way.
So I'm saying I give you credit for enjoying it.
No, I appreciate that. Because again, I just feel like the players have that respect for themselves, for each other. The coaches have that respect for each other. So I don't know. I feel like it's only right that I do the same. And not for nothing, it is like hockey specifically. The Stanley Cup does, I think, is the best trophy in all of sports. The ceremony they do, the celebrate, and to see it, not for nothing too, for the Panthers to do it at home too, makes it a little bit better. So
yeah, I've just always definitely for baseball, no interest in the World Series if the Yankees aren't in it. And then I would say football, I have no problem watching no matter who it is. And same applies for March Madness. And, college football, obviously I don't really have a strong allegiance to a team. But yeah, being new with the Rangers, just being that they were so close, definitely was tough to get into the playoffs. Even though it's good hockey,
right?
I know that, but it's just like seeing another team celebrate. It's just tough for me to enjoy that.
Yeah. No, I agree to an extent. Obviously, I do wish it was the Rangers, obviously, but just to see, a team like the Panthers, again, specifically them, I feel like, their story around the NHL is pretty wild.
Yeah.
I think it's their second cup, right? Franchise cup.
That was their first one last year.
Yeah, their first one last year. Now they're going back to back.
And could go for 3.
They could go for 3, but I don't know. I'd be surprised if they do that. Very hard thing to do. And you can even see it in the player's face. To do, to have a playoff runs like this back to back is
grueling.
Excruciating. Yeah, dude.
The Lightning.
Yeah, exactly. So with the Lightning, by the third time around, they were
toast,
gassed.
Yeah.
So.
I was just gonna ask Danny, how are you with that? Like your team's not in the finals or the advanced rounds of the playoffs. Like, do you get into it, or do you does it depend on the sport?
It definitely does depend on the sport. Baseball, I'm more willing to watch or at least like pay attention throughout the whole playoffs. Especially in like 2023, Yankees didn't even make it, but just watching like the Diamondbacks and the Rangers just because they were interesting stories. Football, always gonna watch the Super Bowl. But yeah, basketball, it's weird because I was like out of the country for the first 4 games of the finals. So like I never was able to watch like, and then game 5 was not that interesting. And then hockey, really only if the Rangers are in the playoffs am I watching.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, especially, oh my God, baseball. I'm just not even thinking about it. But hopefully we don't have that problem this year. We'll see, but maybe we could score a run first before we're talking about the World Series. I don't know how that's funny, right? But yeah, Spawn's gonna win according to Matthew Ryan. That was probably the only serious thing that he said.
Yeah, the rest of it's
in
total fucking
all the
nonsense.
comments. But yeah, I had to say though, a great show despite the circumstances today. Good call from Yearney. And a lot of people tuned in. I did notice that.
This is great.
We appreciate that.
Love that.
And we encourage everybody to continue to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at DowntimeTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees.
Let's go Mets.
And we will see you. Mania.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do.